Hey, what's going on? Ready or not, here we go. Welcome to my unfinished backyard shed. So I'm kind of more leaning toward the not ready side of things right now. All the big life changes in my life. I've never felt ready getting married and moving 1,000 miles away and having a baby and moving 1,000 miles again. I had to trap myself into singing in front of people for the first time. Started a couple small businesses, and I've never felt 100% ready for any of that. So I've got a couple stories today about things I've learned along the way that have helped me start anyway, even when I didn't feel like I was ready. First, if we're not already friends, hey, I'm Ben Crosswaite. We are here in my backyard, and this is a shed that came with the house we bought just over a year ago, and we're just now in the process of finishing it. And so pretty soon this is going to be the sort of headquarters for everything I'm doing, making music, teaching music lessons, making YouTube videos. I was hoping that this was going to be a little bit more ready to go, that I wasn't going to have to walk by installation, not touching the power tools that I'm not allowed to touch because I might hurt myself. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is this idea of building failure into the system. And that's something I really wanted to do with Ben and the Family Quest. And even the choice to put Quest in the name of the project was embracing that this is a process and deciding to just share the whole thing. You know, if I put so much weight on the first couple videos, and my hope was to make 5 YouTube videos and then pitch a show to Netflix and then retire, there'd just be too much pressure, and I probably would never even start because it would just be overwhelming. But I've built the learning process into what I'm doing, and it's made it way easier to just sort of take it as it comes. One example from my life is talking to single friends about the idea of getting back into dating again. Them talking about just learning to accept, not put so much pressure that I'm going to go on a date and this person has to be someone I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, otherwise it was a waste of time. Embracing that even if the date sucks, I might meet an interesting person, I might have a funny story, I might learn something about myself. Just building the failure into the fabric of the thing, I think is super helpful in starting in the face of the fear of failure. Alright, I'm going to sit down now because I can. The second thing I was going to say that's made a huge difference for me has been having great teammates. And first and foremost, that means my wife Erin, who goes about life with so much more ease and clarity and peace than I do. I've always been on board, I wanted to get married, I wanted to move, I wanted to have a kid someday. But in all these cases, she's been great for me to be this is what we want. I think this is the time to do it. This is why. This makes sense. We both want this. Let's go for it. I think if I was left to my own devices, I would just procrastinate way more. And I'm getting better at that. But that's in big part thanks to her. My marriage isn't the only place that I have this. I have great friends, some of them who are in similar places in life, and others who are, in really different stages of life. But we can be there for each other and holding each other accountable toward some of the things we want. I don't have a quick fix for this, but maybe the first step, if you feel all alone in whatever you're trying to accomplish, is to find a teammate. Maybe that's a casual friendship that you could take to the next level. Maybe it's a mentor. Maybe it's going to therapy finally. I'm not sure. It looks different for different people. Man, it's so hard to start something and sustain something alone. So do what you got to do to find a good teammate. So I've got one more story, the story of how I trapped myself into singing for other people for the first time. To tell this one, I thought we could go in and check out my music studio where I've been making music in the corner of my living room. So let's go inside. Oops, I'm recording. Didn't know that. That's embarrassing. All right, we're inside in the corner of my living room, which has been my studio workspace for, I think, like 9 months or so. For the first few months after we moved in, I was sort of musically homeless while we got everything set up. For a short time, I had a little desk set up in our bedroom, and it was clunky and in the way, and I never used it. So Aaron is super gracious to let me have this like total mess of a space here with like so many. Oh, my camera! I almost dropped my camera. But yeah, this sort of clunky in the corner space does speak to this idea of starting anyways. Like if I had waited to make a new song until I had like the perfect studio space, we'd still be waiting. A little behind the scenes here. My last Logic project that I had open was called 80s Piano Idea, July 2020. That sounds fun. I already forget what it sounds like. That's why you have to record all your ideas, because you can't remember them all. So last story, my favorite one, the story of how I trapped myself into singing in front of people for the first time. For a long time, I had become known as a guitar player who doesn't sing. I played in a couple different local bands, on a regular basis. At this point, I'm like 16, 17, 18. I was starting to play on stage in different places regularly. And I'd gotten really comfortable playing guitar in front of people. I didn't feel exposed at all to be the lead guitarist. I'd gotten so comfortable with playing guitar that the idea of going backwards and feeling really exposed and vulnerable, I was stuck. I couldn't do it. And I was still living at home at this point. I was a teenager still. When I was home by myself, I would often sing and record myself and try to get better that way. And actually, like, some of those recordings still exist on a hard drive somewhere, and that I need to burn. Not burn like onto a CD, but like burn in a raging fire. Yeah, lots of really bad songs that I wrote about girls I had crush on when I was 15 or whatever, and I'm sure it's just unbearably awful. Anyways, I was writing songs like that I was, sneakily singing into the computer mic when I was home by myself or whatever. And I was like, I knew at some point I just had to break through. I had to break the seal and sing in front of someone, because I had this constant push-pull of like, I want to do it, but I'm scared to do it. I want to do it, but no, I can't imagine ever doing that. I had an idea that I executed when I was on the high, right? And it trapped me so that even when I was feeling low, I had to follow through with it. And that's my advice. So what I did is I set up a concert for my family and like, I don't know, 6 friends or something. It was a really small group. I sent out texts to everyone and invited them, told them what it was, like that I've been wanting to sing for a long time, and I just needed to do it once and get it over with. Of course, as soon as like I sent the text and that little like text sound, whoot, 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 I can't make the sound effect, but as soon as I know that text is now on their phone and can't be deleted, the pit in the stomach returns and it's like, oh no, what have I done? Of course, like everyone replied like super like excited and encouraging. I don't remember how long, but I think it was like a week or 2 out. Obviously, like I ebbed and flowed about how I was feeling about it, but I was now trapped into doing it. Yeah, it was unorthodox and scary, but I did it, for a group of people that I knew were going to be really supportive of me. And, even just the course of the like 6 songs I sang, like super shaky voice for the first 2, and then getting more comfortable as it went on. And it really did feel like a big relief to finally get that done. And I've used this method a lot for different things in my life. Just a few days ago, actually, I told Erin that I had this great idea for an anniversary present. Our 5-year anniversary is coming right up. By telling her that, I am forcing myself now to work on it and make sure it's ready to go for our anniversary. Otherwise, I could have kind of had this great idea, let it slide, and then just, bought her flowers or whatever, and she wouldn't have known the difference. Now if I buy her flowers, it's like, well, this is nice. Where's that other present you were telling me about? This is something that's worked for me a lot in my life, just trapping myself. All right, so we will be back here in the corner studio on this Friday, 3 days from now. And that video is going to be all about my song Where Did I Go, and also just looking at the music side of this project and what you can expect. I'll play some music for you. We'll talk again. See you Friday.